Ik somologiste to Kyrioti agathos alleluia.
Otis ton neona to eleos aftu alleluia.
Hello, sir. Are you a Muslim, sir?
Yeah, Muslim.
Please come here, sir. We're looking for sensible Muslims, so maybe you're one of them. So,
Yeah, I've seen you many times. Depends on your question. I'll give you a sensible answer.
Sure.
If it's a silly question, I'll refuse. to
questions are always sensible. Now,
answer. I
if
disagree.
you...
I've met Christians who are not so sensible.
Sure. Now, as you are a Muslim, I am a Christian.
Yeah.
Clearly, of course, Islam and Christianity disagrees on a lot of things.
Yeah.
Now, to explain away the disagreement, Islam's way is by saying that the Bible is corrupt
Yeah.
and that the Quran is perfectly preserved.
Yes, that's true.
And by using this claim, they say, look, your book is anyway corrupt, my book is good, and therefore believe in my book. That's the claim. Let me ask you, do you have any evidence to suggest that the Quran is not corrupt?
Yeah, because it's been preserved from the beginning of time.
What's the evidence? You're just rephrasing
Yeah.
the claim, but
The
what is the evidence?
Because there isn't any evidence to prove that it has been corrupted.
Okay, but listen to me carefully. You don't make a claim because no one else has challenged you so far. As you can see, I have challenged you right now and I'll provide evidence after evidence. I'll provide.
Okay.
But before that, I'd like to understand, do you have any positive evidence
Yes.
to justify a claim that the Quran is not corrupt? Do you have any positive evidence?
It depends how you take that evidence. Because somebody whose heart's sealed and is not going to be able to take that evidence, no matter how much
Let's start.
points you make
Let's
in
start.
order to show. Okay.
Let's start.
For
What
example-
evidence have you got?
For example, the language with which the Quran was revealed in.
Okay.
At that time, the Arabs, when they heard the Quran, they wouldn't be able to. They would know that this is not something that the normal everyday Arabs of the time would be able to producing. The literacy level was higher than that of poetry. It sounded beautiful. It was giving a clear message. It was giving guidance.
Maybe I'll clarify the question.
Yes.
Maybe you didn't understand the
No,
question.
I understand the question.
I'm asking about preservation. I'm not asking if it's a good literary work or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe you may claim that it's a good literary work, but that's a different claim.
Okay.
My question is whether it is a good literary work or bad literary work,
Yeah.
has it been preserved?
Has it been preserved? If
That-
you go
that
to
is the question.
If you go to the old manuscripts, the old first manuscripts, which have been preserved, you will find one.
So
in
use the
Birmingham,
first
you find-
manuscripts
Yes,
and
you-
tell me,
yeah.
explain to me
Yeah,
how it is
so
preserved.
The text of the early manuscripts, and you compare to the most earliest transcripts that you can find, to the text that exists today, there is no difference.
What is the
Surah-
evidence are you using? What is the evidence are you using?
The evidence is just what exists. So if you go to the ones which exist from back in history,
But
and you go to
name
the
me
ones
some
now-
manuscripts.
So, for example, the one in I think there's one in Birmingham, in the Museum of Birmingham. There's transcripts there. There's some in Turkey. I don't know the exact whereabouts, but I'm familiar of the one in Birmingham. It's one of the oldest dated manuscripts.
Yeah, the oldest dated
Yeah.
manuscript in Birmingham is called what is called Birmingham manuscript
Yeah,
or the Mingana manuscript.
yeah.
Do you know anything about that manuscript or not? You're just making things up as you go along.
No, I'm not making things up.
But do you know? You didn't even know the name properly. But do you know
I did
what
say Birmingham. You didn't
Sure,
say
sure.
much. You didn't say much different. You just said Birmingham manuscript.
Arab
I'm saying that-
Mingana manuscript?
Mingana, that doesn't matter.
It's a
That's
technical
irrelevant.
name.
It's
It's a
irrelevant.
technical name. You don't know. That's fine.
no,
Birmingham manuscript. Tell me about the Birmingham manuscript.
All I know is that the text that's within there, the Quranic verses that are in there, and compared to the Quranic verses that exist now, there is no difference.
That's a claim. But talk to me about raw details.
It's been checked.
Do you know
It's
how
been
many-
checked.
do
It's
you
been
know
checked
how
by
many-
historians. They wouldn't keep a Quranic.
I'm not asking
Yeah.
someone else. I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Do you know,
I'm not
for
a
instance?
historian. I'm not a
That's fine.
historian. I'm not a
saying-
scholar.
I'm not.
It's not my job to go and check the Birmingham
Sure.
manuscript.
Please listen
Okay,
carefully.
yeah.
My point is not that I'm looking for a scholarly,
Yeah.
expert commentary right now.
You
That's
said
not my
what-
point.
You said, how do I know?
Yeah,
I know
and
based
therefore,
on- yeah,
please
yeah,
listen.
yeah.
And therefore, I'm not looking for a scholarly commentary.
Yeah.
My point is, for you, for your bread and butter religion, you depend on the claim that the Quran is not corrupt and that the Bible is corrupt. That's a bread and butter claim that you have, without which you as a regular Muslim would have a problem, theological problem. And that is where my question to you is, not necessarily a scholarly commentary, But a preliminary, any detail. Do you know? Of course, you mentioned Birmingham manuscript. That's a good starter. Do you know anything about the manuscript? More
In what
details.
sense? In what
No,
sense?
how many pages are there?
No, I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't
So
know.
may I please comment to you? Do you when you don't
But
know?
that's irrelevant. Whether I
It
know
is relevant.
or don't know.
It is
The
relevant.
fact is that
I'll tell you.
No, I'll tell you why. Let me explain why. We Muslims work together based on trust, and consensus of evidence. If I have millions of historians and scholars saying one thing, for me to go to Birmingham Museum and to verify it myself, it doesn't make a difference.
What scholar has given an expert comment based on the Birmingham manuscript to say the Quran is preserved based on the Birmingham manuscript? What scholar has done this?
I don't know.
There's none. I can tell you there's none. Because I can tell you why. I can even tell you why. The entire Birmingham manuscript is just about 4 pages. Back two, 4. That's all. There's nothing much, which in itself is a problem. Because any Quran Birmingham manuscript is meant to have come from the Quranic heartland, and therefore to even see fragments as opposed to the full manuscript.
What's your name?
My name is Arul. Arul.
Arul, can I interject one thing? The fact that there's 4 pages and your question about the preservation is irrelevant to me because it's not going to change my faith. My faith is not based on
evidence.
just the preservation. It's not just the preservation.
Let me ask you this very
It's based on multiple.
My question is.
Which one is the preservation of the Quran? Because Allah Himself says in the Quran that this book will be preserved to the end of time.
But listen to me carefully.
That in itself is enough for me.
So you think Allah has said that.
Yeah, Allah.
But that would be true only if it is preserved. Maybe some Tom, Dick and Harry, please listen.
Okay.
Maybe sometime.
I agree.
And that is where
Okay.
preservation is a fundamental question you need to get to. You don't have to necessarily, I'm not saying every Muslim has to have a scholarly commentary. I'm not suggesting that. But you need to at least have some level of understanding, because unlike a Christian who is not dependent on whether the Quran is corrupt or not, we depend on historical incidents, which is what we examine. Death, burial, resurrection of Jesus. And that is where I'd like to go. So Birmingham manuscript can't be used. Have you got any other manuscript that you can use to justify that the Quran is preserved?
We also believe in historical evidence. We believe on the statements of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that have been verified by his companions and have been traced down in history with an authentic chain of narration. So his sayings, his statements have been, which are the hadith, as you most probably know. We also believe in the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
But please, I want to stick to this topic.
Okay.
Quranic manuscripts. I want to stick to this topic.
Yeah, I got you.
Do you see the? Don't go anywhere. Google isn't going to help you. Please listen.
No, it's a book.
But please listen. Listen. Look at this.
Yeah.
Do you see that graph?
Okay.
Do you see the heading of the graph?
There you go. Okay, you can read all the manuscripts that we have. This is from the first manuscript we have. This is all list of manuscripts, and they all corroborate the Quran that we have today. So you can literally just read it out.
Okay.
Arabi 328a, first century contains 45% of the Quran. All of these are codices that contain the Quran, the same Quran we have today. So you can just read it out to him and
there's
try and-
numerous.
If you listen carefully, first understand the question, then try to answer the question.
There is no question. I'm giving him sources to read out to corroborate the fact that we have Quran today, and we have first and second century manuscripts.
But what I am telling you,
I'm not engaging with you. I'm just giving him sources.
sure. Maybe he's not engaged, so maybe I'll speak to you. The question is
Yeah.
not whether you can read some statements.
Yeah.
The question is not whether you can read English,
Yeah.
read some document from the phone. That's not the question. The question is whether there is information that can justify. And that is where you need to listen to the question first.
Information that
Instead
can
of,
justify what?
I'll show you something. Which, so far I've asked a few things.
Yeah.
And at Birmingham, you couldn't give more information. That's fair enough.
No, I did, but you.
No, you didn't say anything more apart
I
from the
didn't
name.
need to say more. That's not.
You need to say
I
more
don't
because
base
you
my
said
belief on the Birmingham
you said
Yeah.
you depend on the scholars. You said you depend on the scholars who have studied it to establish that the manuscript demonstrates that the Quran is preserved. That's what he said.
Those 4 pages. Yes.
I'm asking you,
I didn't know
which
those
scholar
4
has done that? I'm
I
asking.
don't know.
You are non-Muslim source?
Which means
Non-Muslims, you're non-Muslim source.
he doesn't listen to you, sir. I asked you which scholars, you don't know. In other words, you haven't given me information at all so far. All that you've said is you don't know. All that you've said so far is that you don't know.
That doesn't prove.
I'm going to give him scholars that attest to
Your question.
Please don't.
No, I move away from the camera.
But you're coming to me. No,
I
please.
apologize.
No,
I'm saying,
don't
I just
apologize.
move.
Just move, please.
All right. I just
No, you come to me. You come close to me. Don't.
Yeah, but I'm
Don't
just
come.
saying I moved to allow the cameras.
You come close to me, please.
All right, sorry.
If you can, please. You're not even giving me space to move around. Please, if you can say that, that's good. I'm speaking to you. But you're coming close to me again. Look, where are you? I was here. Look, there is a camera here. I'm having a conversation here. You suddenly moved in. Now to you, sir. The question is simple. To you, he said he doesn't want to talk to me. That's what he said earlier.
I want to talk to you now.
Look, I'm speaking to him.
I got you.
So to you, sir, if you want to say, look, I've tried enough, but I couldn't, and I want to move on, you can. But until then,
It's not about that.
I'd like to wrap.
Don't try and say I couldn't,
like a coward.
as if you have got one up on me, because what you say doesn't shake.
Birmingham
Manuscript.
Manuscript. Sure. I understand Islam is a brainwashing system.
I
Without
understand.
evidence, you would
He
believe.
wants me to engage with
So
you.
so let me. Don't touch me. You're very.
He didn't touch you.
Look at you. What are you doing?
Listen to the conversation. Don't touch me.
Why do you just
What are you doing?
I'm listening to the conversation.
What are you doing?
I'm listening.
Don't touch me. You come into me. I can't even move. Can't even move. I can't even move.
You're scared. Go away.
I can't even move.
No, but speaker's corner.
I can't even move.
All right, sorry.
I can't even move. You're putting me under false arrest right now.
Oh, sorry.
Don't touch me, please. So,
I'm just trying to listen to the
no, but you're moving into me. I can't even move. So to you, no, I'm speaking to him.
He says he wants me to engage.
Listen to me carefully. I'm speaking to him. Do you have a brain that can process information? Please listen. Please listen.
He said
I'm speaking to
I have
him.
more information he's going to give.
Please, Muslims don't cause trouble.
No, we're not going to jump. We're just going to discuss. That's it.
Sure. To you, sir.
Just tell him when to speak.
So we were speaking about. You're coming into me again. What is wrong with you, Abdullah?
I'm just trying to listen.
What is wrong with you? Please, sir. I'm speaking to you. Don't move into me. Hey, what is wrong with you?
I'm trying to listen to the conversation.
No, don't come into me and please don't. Give me my space.
Second time.
Excuse me, sir. Please give me my space. Thank you very much. Please give me my space.
Yeah, you have to engage.
Please give me my space, Abdullah. Yeah.
Heart attack.
Trying to make sense. Trying to make sense with what is the problem?
I haven't moved.
No. If you please. Sure. Yes. So if you please give me some space. Don't be criminals. Look at them.
Why don't you go back to your country?
All right.
Why
So,
you don't stop the people cooking up cow shit and
okay,
and burning their wives?
if all Muslims, calm
Calm
down.
Giving some fake.
if there is any sensible Muslim, if there is any sensible Muslim who is
Bonjour.
sensible ones would listen to the statement first and respond.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
The ones who don't even listen to the statement first,
Nobody
by
engages.
definition, are not sensible.
Nobody engage with him. Go ahead. We're listening.
If there is any sensible Muslim, I am willing to have a conversation with you. But for a conversation to happen, the sensible Muslim must know that there is such a thing called personal space. So I would ask the sensible Muslim to ask all Muslims to give me my personal space and stay away.
Approach is Muslim.
It's a simple request. As the mafia ummah that you are, if you can make sense,
Nobody's buying.
I understand that you are part of a mafia gang. Instead of demonstrating that you are part of a mafia gang, if you want to prove your salt, if you want to prove your salt, don't touch me. It's not a question, it's a statement. Don't touch me.
He engages with Muslims. who don't
But
know
to
their
you,
material. And
stay
once
away
he goes
is my
up
only
to with
statement.
material, all of a sudden he doesn't want to debate.
Stay-
All of a sudden he's imposing
No.
He never did.
Stay away
I am
is the
willing to
first
compromise
point.
to his conditions.
To all Muslims, stay away first.
Shouting is not going to help you.
Give me my personal
You are
space
trash.
is the first point.
You paid rent.
There you go.
All the rest of the Muslims, if you respect this gentleman as your representative of your confused mafia gang ummah, then the rest of the people, if I could request you to step back, move away. Step back. The rest, if you step back and move away. Sorry again.
Just trying to understand the question you said.
Yeah, sure. But if you give me some space, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Everyone, thank you very much. Thank you. So,
What is the question?
all right. We were in the middle of a conversation. About whether the Quran is preserved or not. This gentleman came in between, and Abdullah now wants to know what the question is, so I can explain the question. But for that, all Muslims should pay attention right now.
Go ahead, please.
I'll explain. I am a Christian. There are many Muslims here. And of course,
Brother, engage, please. Engage. Let the audience speak. Engage.
sure.
Engage.
Between Christianity, which I follow, my precious Lord Jesus, and Islam that you follow, clearly there are irreconcilable differences. There are moral problems in Islam and all sorts of other things.
Should we time it?
If you listen first,
I can time it, man.
if you talk in between,
Time it.
I have already evidence to think that you don't have the capacity to think,
I'm going to decapitate you. Let's go.
which is what jihadis do. I completely understand.
Decapitate you. Let's go.
When a jihadi says that he is going to decapitate me, and of course, I need to be a little bit concerned. And so now all of you should know why your jihadi friend did mention. So clearly, too much of masjid conversation is overflowing to speaker's corner.
Brother, give
Your
me
masjid conversation of decapitation, terrorism,
You know what
and so
intellectual
on.
competition is?
Thank you. Yeah, nothing about. Yes, thank you. Now, all right. The topic of discussion, why is the mafia gang moved in, was a simple one, which is to justify the impossible Islam. What Islam does is to claim that the Quran is perfectly preserved, but the Bible is corrupt. This is the claim that Islam advances.
Yep.
And I am trying to have a sensible discussion on this topic. Is it true? Is it true?
Brother, finish. Forget the audience.
Ask your ummah to stay quiet.
I don't control them.
If you don't control, I am going to move away because I have no trust in your serious troublemaking ummah.
Brother, we don't control the people. Engage.
My channel for all audiences, my channel is called Operation Stephen. You can watch videos after videos in Operation Stephen, and you can, if you stay quiet, you can see that the Muslim Ummah are seriously troublemaking at speaker's corner, and therefore, I am deeply,
Give your arguments.
and therefore,
Give your argument.
and therefore,
Give your
I am.
argument, brother.
and therefore, I am.
Your argument. Give your argument. Yalla, let's go.
Therefore, I am deeply, very.
Speaker's corner. It's a conversation.
Let's go. Why is the Quran not preserved? And why is the Bible preserved? So we can engage. Let's go.
All right. So,
Argument. Instead of delaying.
all Muslims, if I could request you to please give me space and move. I don't want any trouble to be from behind me. If all Muslims can please step away, respecting,
How many meters?
respecting. Okay, maybe you can stand there. Maybe you could come here. All Ummah members, please come. Please come here. All Ummah members, especially the ones who have made trouble earlier in the day, please stay away. Please, you can come here. You can come here.
No, don't allow him to do it.
You can come here. Thank you.
I can come here.
All Ummah members, if you can please step away from my back, because I am deeply wary. I am deeply wary. Thank you very much.
Give your argument, dude.
Deeply wary of troublemakers who stand. All right.
He's going to give an argument, guys. He's going to give an argument against Quranic preservation. Let's hear it. Give your argument, brother.
So, in relation, the question is simple. Is the Quran preserved or not?
Yep.
If you want a timed conversation, we can do timed. If you don't want a timed, if you want a naturally flowing conversation, we can do that also. But the topic,
Time. 2 minutes each.
but the topic is simple. The topic is simple. You see, he is already confused. The topic is in Quran and the Bible, as if that is even a complete statement. The statement, the challenge is simple. Is the Quran preserved or corrupt? Is the question. Are you happy with the topic?
Very happy. Engage. Give the argument.
Is the Quran preserved or corrupt? If you want a timed conversation,
2 minutes each.
please can you hold for time, because we need to be able to see. No, I'm fine. Thank you.
2 minutes each, yeah?
It's hard to turn around. I need to be. It's hard to turn around. Someone from the. Can you hold a? Are you able to show time? Please. Can you, if you.
We need a moderator. Can we like to moderate?
Brother, hold it 2 minutes. Here you go. Here you go. He's doing 2 minutes. Okay?
3 minutes, yeah?
You want 3 minutes each?
3 minutes, what did we say? 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
3 minutes,
3 minutes each. All right.
That's fine.
We need a moderator.
That's fine. I want to hear argument about
3 minutes, 3 minutes. Start. 3 minutes each. All right. The topic is simple. Is the Quran preserved or not? Now, anyone sensible would understand. For someone to know if a book is preserved, you need to be able to look at passages and be able to comprehend passages. You need to be able to first of all find out what the contents of the book are. My challenge to all my Muslim friends are that based on manuscriptal evidence, no one can have any confidence about the Quran as to even what originally constituted the Quran. Was the original Quran of 114 surahs or not? The overwhelming evidence that we have today.
Moderator, you've been talking for 15 minutes. Carry on.
No.
No. 15 minutes you've been talking, and we haven't started this clock yet.
Wait.
No, he is showing the time.
Carry on, please.
He is showing the
Pause the time.
time.
I pause the time. Time is paused.
He is showing the time.
2 minutes and 9. I pause it. 2 minutes and 9 seconds left.
Yeah.
The question.
So,
Continue. That's it. Done.
the Muslim gentleman here has to provide evidence, first of all, evidence to show that evidence leads to the conclusion that the Quran has originally had 114 surahs. I can show contrary evidence. The contrary evidence is from an Islamic source, from Maser and Hashem, their website. You can see this graph in their website. You have to go a long way through the manuscript before you can come to any 114 chapter surah, Quran. Please look at this. Long time. Most of the early manuscripts don't have 114 chapters. There is no shred of evidence to suggest that the early Quran has 114 chapters. But the problem isn't just that. The problem is more than that. For instance, the earliest dated manuscript of the Quran is what is called the Birmingham manuscript. But unfortunately for the Muslims, the Birmingham manuscript is dated prior to the time of when Muhammad is supposed to have started his ministry. In other words, the earliest of the Quranic manuscripts clearly is demonstrably based on science, not from Muhammad. Who knows who wrote the Quran? How many surahs were there in the Quran? And there are also contents in the Quran which no one can demonstrate through evidence that they correspond to Muhammad. I can give sample passages later. The point is, the Quran is utterly lost, corrupt.
Time, brother. I'm not going to respond, and please don't interrupt. Here we go. So Arul made a lot of claims. I'm going to go backwards, and I'm going to show you how utterly nonsensical each of his claims are. And I need everyone to pay attention. His initial claim was that because the Birmingham manuscript dates before Muhammad's ministry, that therefore is going to be a theological implication that's going to undermine Islam. What if you knew, Arul, is that when it comes to dating manuscripts, there's many ways of doing it. One of the ways of doing it is through carbon dating. Now, one fault of carbon dating, which is why you shouldn't date only using carbon dating, is because it gives you a range. Carbon dating uses material, looks at the material, looks at the carbon half-life of that material, and determines the dating when that manuscript goes back to. Now, what Arul doesn't know is that a range does not negate its actual dating. What he simply means is that it could be arranged prior to Muhammad or after Muhammad. Why? Because carbon dating is faulty in its dating and is not as accurate. That's why we corroborated with other ways of dating, such as the text and the writing of the style. Now, his second argument was regarding manuscripts. We can't corroborate manuscripts of the first century of 114 surahs. Too bad, we can. Here we go. I'm going to read out a list of manuscripts, either complete or incomplete, that corroborate the Quran that we have today with scholarship upon request. I got you. I got everything you need. Here we go. The Arabi 328A, first century, 45% complete. The BL 2165, first century, 57% complete. What do we have? Sarai Medina, first century manuscript, 100% complete. Minga palimpsest, first century, 30 folios. I have more than 30 independent manuscripts that attest to 114 surahs. And upon request, I have more than 20 secular historians that attest to the Quran being preserved upon request. I've got a minute left, so I will name a few. Here we go. Let's name a few historians that attest to this. Here we go. Let's give some. We have Alan George. We have Dam. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Here we go. Let me try and get as many as possible. There we go. We have John Arthur Jeffrey. We have Early Crone. We have Daniel Burka. And I can keep going and going to show secular historians that attest to Quranic preservation in conjunction with manuscripts. Respond to the evidence. Respond to the evidence that I gave of full Quranic manuscripts, first century, in conjunction with the earliest
Can we have time?
historians.
Can we have time? 3 minutes?
I got you, bro. There you go.
No, please. Let's have someone who can show. Sorry, one. Okay, but maybe start again.
There you go.
Now,
You can see that nobody interrupted. Can you tell them not to interrupt?
I don't control them. I don't control them. There you go. 3, 2, 1, go.
so now we saw a demonstration as to how Muslims come to conclusion. They are hearing some words for the first time in their lives and they are shouting out takbir. And that is how scholarship of Islam happens. Have no clue whatsoever. If you carefully paid attention to what he said, first, what did he say about Birmingham manuscript? He agreed that the carbon dating in terms of range would allow the manuscript to even be dated prior to Muhammad. He agreed. What he did not talk about is not just the range, my dear friends. Carbon dating would also give you a mean period, mean year. And the mean year for the manuscript is prior to when Muhammad is supposed to have started his preaching, which is in 610 AD. So in other words, Birmingham manuscript, if you go by science, not your Allahu Akbar, Takbir and so on, but if you go by science, which he hates, you will have to agree, comes from whoever else, but not Muhammad. God knows where Birmingham manuscript comes from. Now let's talk about the other manuscript. The gentleman here very eloquently agreed on camera. What did he say? He named a few manuscripts and he agreed 40%, 30%, 50%. You have a huge problem. My dear friends, the complete list is here from your Maser, Dawa Wise Islamic channel. The complete list. Go through the early, many manuscripts, my dear friends. There is nothing which is complete. Add to that Birmingham manuscript, God knows where it comes from. So the point is, God knows what was read in the first century of Islam as the Quran. Maybe what he is calling as the 40% is all that they read as the entire Quran, maybe. You know what I mean? No one has a clue. So far, he hasn't given a shred of an evidence as to why 114 chapters are supposed to be in the Quran. Manuscripts go against. What is the evidence that he has given to substantiate that? Nothing. Zero. Zilch. Instead, what he quoted are people such as Patricia Crone, Arthur Jeffrey. I don't know if he has ever read their material. If you have ever read Arthur Jeffrey's material, my dear friend, you would not even stand here and mention his name. He is a Christian gentleman who has written some serious information against the Quran. There is a book that he wrote, roughly, I can't remember the exact name, but something like the variations of the Quran, all sorts of variations. And he has produced a master material of all information that he has gathered from historical sources. To an extent, no one would today have a clue as to what should be in the Quran. Now, I made another point. So in other words, so far, zilch evidence. Zero.
Here we go. You guys can clearly see the difference when it comes to dialectics and it comes to presenting evidence using a historical critical method. He raised very poor objections that I'm quickly going to refute before I pose the line of questions.
He'll start sometime soon.
Wait, before I can pose the line of questions, which you will see he's not going to answer. Because the only way to catch these guys out is to give them direct questions. They don't answer them, then it's a concession. Here we go. He said that because the evidence that I presented of multiple manuscripts contains that they don't include the entirety of the Quran, that this means it's going to be an issue. Nope. What this means is that using the historical critical method, if we have corroborating evidence, although individually they're not complete, it still corroborates the entire Quran that we have from the first century. And if you didn't know, he didn't say this, but I quoted you a manuscript, a codex that has 100% of the Quran from the first century.
Which one was that?
Let me give it to you. Here we go.
Don't go close. You are going close. You see.
The name of this manuscript is, here we go, Sarai Manuscript 1, Sarai Medina 1A is dated the first century Hijrah and is 100% of the Quran.
100% complete.
Sarai Medina, first century, 100% complete. Now, the question to him is very simple. Do we have a first century manuscript that has 100% of the Quran according to his evidence? Yes or no? That's the first question. Second question is, do we have corroborating evidence from other manuscripts that corroborate 100% of the Quran from the first century? That's the second question. I expect to answer every single one of those questions. Now, the third question is, when it comes to secular historians, when it comes to seculars, do they attest to Quranic preservation, yes or no? And I'm going to give him a list. I'm going to ask him to concede. Here we go. Let's work backwards. We have Angelica Nerworth. We have Van Putten. We have, who do we have? Let's keep going. Hytham Sidki. We have Forster Abinot. We have Rom Landu. All they say that, and all of them are Orientalists that say that the Quran is preserved. The question to you is very simple. Do we have plethora of non-Muslim scholars that attest to Quranic preservation, yes or no? He said regarding Arthur, is that he says that the Quran is not preserved. Bring your evidence. You can't bring it because I have him saying the opposite. Now, these are the three questions that I want to answer. If he doesn't answer all three questions, it's a concession. It's very simple. Do we have first century manuscript that corroborates 100% of the Quran?
What's the time?
Question. Still going, brother. 20 seconds left. Second question. Do we have a plethora of manuscripts that together corroborate the Quran that we have today under the HCM? Yes or no? Third question, do we have plethora of non-Muslim Orientalists that corroborate and say that the Quran is preserved according to the evidence? Yes or no? Failure to answer these questions is a concession by default. Go ahead.
Sure.
Go ahead, sorry. I'll do your time. There you go.
I haven't got a clue if he has understood the question or the challenge or not. The debate topic is the Quran preserved? This is from Islamic Awareness. Everyone please take a look. All Islamic Mafia gang members, please take a look. This is from Islamic Awareness website. I am showing him resources. He's not showing. He's hiding away. I haven't got a clue as to what resources he is talking about. Dawa Wise Channels, IslamicAwareness.com, IslamicAwareness.org/Quran/text/MSS. You get information, a bar chart /Hijazi, a bar chart. And in this list around 30 to 40 manuscripts. You put all of them together, you still don't have 100% Quran. You still don't have. To get your first complete Quran, what you call complete Quran, or I would call the later mythical Quran, you have to wait centuries, my dear friends. Especially when Islam were the winners in Hijazi. They had every reason to preserve every single manuscript completely. Yet, in Hijazi, where they could have preserved every manuscript, what is the state of the manuscripts of the Quran? You go through tens and tens and tens and centuries, tens of manuscripts, and even if you add all contents together, you do not get a clue whether the Quran is supposed to be 114 chapters or not. For all that we know, maybe the first Quran was only the Birmingham manuscript. Who knows? Maybe the second Quran was, please listen, don't disturb. Maybe the second Quran was only the 30% or 40% complete Quran. Maybe that is what they thought was complete Quran. Who knows? If all the manuscripts from Muslim heartland, when they were ruling the Muslim heartland, is only 30%, 40%, 20%, and some of them date from before the time of Muhammad, you have to ask some serious questions. Why is this important? I've shown you manuscripts, by the way, if you want to. I don't know what you showed, you kept that as a secret. Maybe that's my Mafia gang secret. But look at this, IslamicAwareness.org. Can you see this? This is from your Mafia gang, Maser. This is from your Maser, my dear friend. Look at the bar graph. If you don't hate information, love information. Look at that. Look at that. If you please take a proper look, and for your imaginary 100%, I don't know where you got, but the point is this is what we have. Now, who are people who reject the preservation of the Quran? Oh, all sorts of people, my dear friends. There is scholarship today which undermines the very origin account of Islam. God knows who wrote the Quran. One of the stalwarts, leading stalwarts, by the way, to you, Francois Desroches, who holds one of the early significant manuscripts, who sits in France, believes that the Quran was written much later than Muhammad.
Time. There we go. So guys, let me put my time real quick. Did he answer any of the questions that I asked him? No. Did he address at least a single question? No. He didn't. Let's remind everyone, let's refresh everyone's memory. The first question was, do we have first century complete codex of the Quran? He didn't answer it, and I showed him the evidence. Second question.
What? You didn't show me anything.
Please, brother, please.
But you didn't show me anything. You can't say I showed you something.
It's on camera. Second question. Do we have corroborating codices and folios that attest to 100% of the Quran in the first century? He didn't answer that question, and of course we do. Third question. Do we have a plethora of secular historians, Orientalists, that attest to Quranic preservation? He didn't answer the question. Now, clearly, I made it clear, if he doesn't answer, then it's a concession. These guys don't know how to debate. So to make it very clear, I'm going to give him one reference, just one. Here we go. Rom Landu says, Professor of Islamic Studies at the University of the Pacific, said that it has become the task of Muhammad's secretary, Zayd bin Thabit, to bring these sayings together in textual form. Abu Bakr had directed this work, and later, after a revision at the command of Uthman, the Quran took its standard and final form that has come down to us unchanged. The Quran, according to the secularists, has come down to us unchanged. The question to you is very simple. Do you reject this secular historian, and you say that he's wrong, yes or no, and in conjunction with answering all the previous questions that I asked you, because right now you're wasting my time, you're wasting everyone's time, because we want to know, why do we have plethora of codices that corroborate the Quran being 100% preserved? Because as you know, when it comes to historical...
What's the time?
There's 2 time left, brother. When it comes to corroborating reports, we don't look at one codex and assume that the codex itself is what will represent the Quran. When it comes to historical critical method, you look at the available reports and you look at the ICMA, the historical method analysis, and you date back how far that text goes, either through carbon dating, either through looking at the way that the text looks. Based on the text, you can date it at a specific time period. So the question to you is very simple. Do we have, according to the evidence that I showed you, a plethora of 1st century codices that attest to 100% of the Quran? Yes or no, otherwise you reject the evidence. And according to that scholar, do you accept or reject Rom Landu, who said that the Quran has come down to us unchanged? Yes or no? Failure to answer any of these questions is a concession by default. Answer. Are you my time? I didn't even need the rest of my time. Let's see if he's going to waste my time.
No, 1 second. I'm here. My dear friend, excuse me. Excuse me. Is something wrong with him? Something wrong with him? I said before, excuse me. Are you hearing? Does he know?
The time is running, brother. The time is running.
Keep moving. Please keep moving. So, I'm not debating anymore. You can move. Thank you very much. Thank you. Sure. This clearly is some. This clearly is some TikTok. Would you like to start again? But before you start, wait. Wait.
He ran away.
But before you start, okay, please listen. I'm here. Before you start,
Answer the question.
Before you start,
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Tell him to answer the question.
would you like to have a sensible debate or not?
We don't start on the time. We start.
There we go. It's just a clown show. It's just a clown show.
You are going close.
Look at the clown show. Look, I'm not interested. If you want to have a sensible debate, if you would like to have a clearly a TikTok fellow who doesn't know what it means to give information. Would you like to have a debate?
Answer the question.
If you'd like to have a debate, firstly,
Chicken.
my dear friends, here, no, I'm done. Please, you can keep moving.
You're done? You
Thank
want
you.
debate?
Thanks.
Do you want to debate? Do you want to continue or not?
If you want to debate, listen. Now he's a selective cognitive disorder here. Yeah? It turns.
You're projecting yourself.
Thank you very much. Thank you. No, I don't want to. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please keep moving. So here is the problem. The fellow is clearly a TikTok fellow who does not know what it means to show evidence. He reads from some random source which he doesn't even give me, and he thinks he is debating. My dear friends, my dear friend, if you want to debate and if you want to show evidence, show it. If you are saying I have shown evidence, show it. You neither presented the evidence prior to the debate nor showed the evidence, took time to show the evidence to me in the middle of the debate. You did nothing. All that you did is clearly your TikTok material. In a ba, and then move away. Unfortunately for you, we come from Speaker's Corner. This is Speaker's Corner. Here we don't do takbirs. Here we rather exchange information. I cared to read out the source material from which I have gathered the information. IslamicAwareness.org, Quran/text/MSS/Hijazi, where Maser and Hashem, shameful as they are, confirm that none of the early Qurans are complete. To contradict my claim, what evidence did the gentleman provide? God knows what he did, because he did not give me the detailed reference there. And so, my dear friends, There are a number of problems with the Quran, with the claim of the preservation of the Quran. Number one, who began to write the Quran? Who before Muhammad began to write the Quran? Question number one. Question number two, why did the early Muslims have just a portion of the Quran as their entire Quran? Why? That's question number two. Question number three is, in relation to the earliest of manuscripts, why does it take centuries before which you arrive at the earliest complete manuscript of the Quran? So clearly, when you put together all of these evidence, there is no reason to think, I was having a conversation with you earlier, there is no information to think that the Quran has 114 chapters. There's no reason.